joined in August of '42.
Well, you would have been 20 in May 20.
I was 19.
All right. Now today is March the 7th, 2003, and we're in the home of Alfred D. Bahner on Oregon Trail Road, just kind of north of Bellevue, Kansas. Alfred was born in May of 1922 in Wabunsee County, Kansas. That makes you like 80 years old. You'll soon be 81, won't you?
Yeah.
And I'm Dean Schoengert. I will be interviewing Alfred today. Alfred, how is it that you got into the service?
Well, at that time, the way I understand, I guess perhaps I was watching the news, in which we didn't have anything fancy, but the Marines had landed at Guadalcanal, and they kind of, and not that they impressed me that much, but they had pretty good writings about it, and also the draft was coming up. At that time, you had to be drafted or whatever, so I volunteered to join the Marines.
How did you do that?
Well, I went, my folks, they took me to Kansas City. That's where you involved, that's where I enlisted at. And they signed it for me, and I joined the Marines there in Kansas City.
You'd been out of high school by then?
I didn't go to high school.
Really? And the Marines took you?
Yeah.
And where did they take you first off?
They sent me out to San Diego. That's where I went to boot camp. Took my training out there, and I wasn't there very long. And
what kind of training?
well, boot camp is whatever you want to call it, when they kick you around and let you know who's the boss. Swimming and I don't know what all.
Really?
Walking and guns and everything that you want to do.
Had you ever done any swimming before?
Oh, in the creek.
Was that basic training hard for you?
Well, it was, no, I don't know. It's a different lifestyle, that's for sure.
And then where'd you go?
Well, I got out of boot camp, and it wasn't very long. They took a little training there, and they loaded me aboard a ship as a replacement to the 1st Marine Division. And we took off. They had went out of Dago there, and they had, at that time, there was a ship that, well, it was a USS Lurline, it used to be, and they converted it over to a military, to all its suckers like us, and it only took us 30 days to get we went to Melbourne, Australia. And that's where after the 1st Marine Division come from Guadalcanal, they come back to Melbourne. And that's where I joined them.
How high were the bunks?
Oh yes, and down in the bottom, they had bunks they'd converted over, and there was 5, and maybe one of them might have been 6 high. So you had to have pretty good legs to crawl up to the top of them. They were 5 bunks, 5 high. So they had a bunch of us suckers, no, not suckers, but us people on there.
Did you have a rough crossing, or?
No, it wasn't that. It was a pretty big ship.
But one of the guys got sick, didn't he?
Oh, well, we had one fella, didn't matter. As soon as he got aboard ship, he got seasick. You know, it just, well, I don't know.
Well, how long were you there in Australia?
Well, we were there until well, let's see, how long would it have been? It wouldn't have been very long, because we got organized and took some training there. And we were in the 1st Reconnaissance Company, Scout Company. That's what they organized us as. I was a replacement to that. And that wouldn't have been too long after I left here, and I can't figure how many days, but I can tell you when we moved out of there and made our first landing. Where we went from I went there and went to Cape Gloucester in January. January 13th, 44, and was on there for till May in 44. That's how long we were on the island of Cape Gloucester, and I can remember that and things that happened there when we first. It was new to us, to me anyway. And of course, we were the scouts, and they kind of dumped us off first. But anyway, they was on a ship. I think it was in LST, and they couldn't get into the island too close, so they close they could, and they dropped the ramp, and they kicked you out of this, jumped over the side in the water, and then you went and walked into the shore. And we kind of were the ones that scouted wherever the enemy was at and all of that. And we stayed there for that length of time until they secured the island, and then they took us back again. And we weren't there too long, and then they decided to go to Peleliu. There's another island. So we landed there on Peleliu Island, and wasn't there but about, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe a month. And just got that island secured. So went back again, and they reorganized, get replacements. Of course, some got killed. I mean, that's the first division. The whole division landed there.
It was a pretty hostile landing, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, we did that all. Everything was big operations. And they lost some. Some of them died or got killed. Yeah. Yeah, hell yes. The Japanese, those slant eyes, they wanted to shoot at you too. They didn't want to die. I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, after they got back in, when they reorganized again, they had another replacements coming. They always had replacements coming in. Then we were going to, and this involved a big operation in Okinawa. There was different divisions, army, and there was some army in it too. And we landed there on April of 45, and we stayed there until it was secured. And they raised the flag. I saw them. We raised the flag, or I wasn't in on it, but we was down there on the Sheer Castle. That was at Okinawa. That we had it. Took the island.
Was that the worst operation in
Yeah,
Okinawa?
that was a big one. A lot of it. Well, I can remember one old boy that, different things you went through. These Japanese had booby traps and everything that you would do, and I remember one tall guy, we were going through I don't know what it was, someplace, and this Japanese was laying, and they thought, and there was we kind of had addicted to getting some souvenirs, from him, and he turned this guy over, and he was alive, and he shot him right in the head, killed him. That was a kind of a bad thing. But other than that, after they got everything secured, I remember that, I went down to where all the ones that were killed, and they were all laid out. And of course, we had flies, and didn't look like nowadays. And so then at that time, you see, I was been overseas for 30 months. And that was the time they said that it's so long as they could stay over there. So that was and I missed about 3 Christmases. So anyway, they shipped me back then, the bunch of us that had 30 months overseas. And we went back to Dago. And then they in turn let me come home for the first time. So I come home and then I got, well, I guess I don't know how long I was home.
Well, the war was over when you got back to Dago.
Yeah, they declared the war was over when I got back to Dago. I mean, everybody, that was the end of it. And
Where were you when the atomic bomb dropped? You were back in Dago, were you? Atomic bomb.
well, I guess, I don't know.
You don't recall that?
Uh-uh.
I
What?
think you must have been back in Dago.
I evidently,
I
What
think
was
so.
the date on that?
what did,
I don't know.
No, I don't know either, but
well, that's, I don't know.
That you thought you might have to go back after coming home.
Well, no, as soon as we got back to Dago, they announced that the war was over.
Okay.
yeah, but you would have had to gone back.
Oh, yeah,
They say
yeah, I
no
was
more.
still in the service, yeah.
R&R.
But they was over because, well, I better not tell the freaky thing I was trying to do.
Why not?
Well, I come home.
Yeah, but if the war hadn't been over, you would have had to have gone back.
Oh, yeah, I'd had to go back. I mean, I wasn't that's what the Marines had at that time, 30 months overseas. And that's what I was in these 3 landings, 3 islands we took. And I got to come home, then I went back out, and then I'd spent over 3 years. So after I was out there for a while they decided that I could be discharged. So I got my discharge out of there. And then I guess I thought I had a brother that was in the Army. Where was he at? In Missouri, I think.
Arkansas.
Or Arkansas, yeah. Then I thought instead of riding the train, I thought I'd hitchhike home from Dago down to Arkansas. And I did that. Went down and seen him. He was in the service down in the Army.
Had been.
And yeah, he was
He had just been discharged.
he was discharged also. But then I remembered coming home. I got up to the peak and somebody dumped me off on the city limits. And of course, I was trying to walk through it. Pretty soon, here, well, he was a cop or
Cab driver, I thought you told me.
no, he was an officer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He says he stopped and wondered where I was going, and I told him. And I had my uniform on and everything. He says, "No, I'm not supposed to do this," but he says, "I'll take you through town." So I got a ride. He took me out of the city limits and dumped me out. So then I got another ride and come on home. And that was the end of it.
What have you done after the service?
Oh, let's see. I guess I farmed a little, didn't I? That's where I was raised, on the farm. We were farmers. And I went back to farming over there, and I guess I met somebody. I don't know who.
So you weren't married while you were in the service?
No.
And
Other than that, I
you
guess
you met somebody and been married ever since, huh? How many children do you have?
We have 2, boy and a girl. Yeah.
How long have you lived on this place?
Well, we've lived over in this area about as long as we've been married, almost, hadn't we? Yeah.
53 years.
Well, we lived across the river for a little while. Didn't
Yeah.
we? Rented a house over there,
Maybe 50.
and then this is kind of her family lived over in this area. The old house was here, and we lived in here, and then we finally built this house. But other than that, why, just been slaving along all the time. Trying to make a living.
And your children going to farm after you, or?
No, they all got, well, I didn't have an education. I said that, and that's one thing I was going to make sure my kids had.
Mm-hmm.
And they all went to college, got a degree. And of course, the girl, she's a, what do you call her, nurse practitioner now. And the boy, he works down in Topeka as a, they got so many titles now, I don't know what they are, but he works at a construction outfit down there. And he travels.
Krupp Rubber Company.
Yeah, it's Krupp Rubber.
Oh, so he's an engineer.
Yeah,
Some
he
kind. They go,
travels all over the different states. I think he's gone this week.
They went to K-State, or your children? Where did they go?
Well, let's see. Kathy went to, yeah,
Fort Hayes.
Fort Hayes. She got out of Fort Hayes. And Kim,
Graduated from Emporia.
yeah, he graduated from Emporia.
Yeah.
And they're married and got kids.
So you hear so much about the Marines landing on those islands and how terrible it was.
Oh, it was just like,
We had a lot of trouble after we were married. He had nightmares and he was always going for a foxhole. But that, something that some of them never got over, I guess.
well, it's a, I don't know. You just kind of live like a pig, I guess. I don't know. You just, everybody for himself. Or, well, we've worked together. You know, you make friends. And we were the reconnaissance or the scout company of the 1st Marine Division, and they've got an organization now.
Oh.
And they meet, but I haven't been going to it. But a lot of them are down south, but they still, but big percent of them aren't around anymore. That's the trouble. Ones I knew.
How were the scouts organized? Were you in
Well, that was
squads of 5 people or 10 people, or
Oh no, it was a regular platoon.
platoon?
Yeah,
And
just like you have 1st and 2nd and 3rd platoon, and we
Yes.
were a platoon.
okay. And then what kind of weapons did each man carry?
Oh, we had the same as the rest of them.
Everybody had the same kind of weapon?
Yeah,
Or
rifles.
You didn't have any mortars or machine guns?
No, we didn't carry that kind of stuff.
Because you were scouts trying to go forward.
To find out, to kind of look to see where where they had where the Japanese would have their camp. You know, where you look for them. You kind of scout to see how big it is and one thing and another like that.
But you'd have to crawl forward through the bush and
Yeah, we were careful.
and then report back. Did you have a radio man?
No, we didn't have no radios.
No radios.
In those days, did they have radios?
Well, I thought they did, so that you could radio,
Yeah, we'd go
radio
back and
to the
report to
company.
the captain
I see.
and the company, and then they'd do whatever they're supposed to. But we was always up close by and stand security at night and take your turns, staying awake.
Was that a scary experience for you, the guarding at night?
I guess so. You didn't want to see anything move. And a lot of them, one of the islands, they had, like now, they had caves, and they'd be in caves, you know. But, survived. Other than that, boy, I don't know.
Were you in Okinawa when the big tornado came, or
No, not that I can remember. No.
did you experience any kamikaze pilots or anything there in Okinawa?
Oh, there was stuff blowing all the time. We didn't know what was going on. I mean, who they were, whatever. They just shooting and carrying on. And when you're aboard ship, you have a problem of watching. They did, guard you so you get in there. Then we get on ship, and then they put you on the boat, landing boat, take you in, kick you out. These big ships could only get in so close. But other than that, why, I can't remember anything else besides.
You remember any of your briefing before going into Okinawa? What
Any
they
what?
told you? What they told you was going to happen before you went into Okinawa? Any of your
Oh,
briefings?
not really. They just, well, it described who was all involved. I mean, and I can't remember now, but there was two. I think there was two Marine divisions, and then there might have been an Army or so. But I don't know who they were. You know, probably I could read in that book and find out. But we were just kind of looking after ourselves.
Were you in on the initial landing in Okinawa, or
Yeah,
had it
we
already
were.
been?
Everybody was surrounded the island. It was tough. A lot of boats out, and air protection too. Some airplanes flying around. Yeah, we went in. Everybody had a certain place. They had it all figured out. I guess. I don't know. We were just the flunkies.
Well, not really flunkies. You had to do your part.
Well, yeah, I know, but we were, you know, it's
Did you? So you had 3 landings. Which one was the worst? Where you lost the most out of your outfit?
well, I think Okinawa was because we were there quite a while, and it just, there's a lot of
Snipers.
bombing.
Weren't there a lot of snipers?
Oh, there's always snipers. They'd be hiding out, and snipers, as they call it, they'd shoot you, you know. And a lot of like these caves, you know, they'd be go by or something like that, and there'd be somebody in there.
What was your closest call? Scariest experience?
Well, I don't think I ever. Well, besides shooting and crawling down in a hole someplace. Other than that, why? Got a few. Oh, I got a few. Some skins off and barking, crawling around. No, nothing serious. So.
Well, thank you very much, Dutch, if I may call you that.
A lot of people don't know my first name.
Where did you get that nickname?
I come out of a family of 8 people, and we all had nicknames.
I see.
Yeah, there were 6 boys and 2 girls, and they all had, I don't know, gifts. That must be the Bohonk in us. I don't know what.